we shine so bright. LordBiegel, lead and watch the enemies fall. In this first-person dream, I give it my all. Final Fantasy realms, magic in our hands, battling the monsters, together we stand. Every pulse of the fight, like a rock and roll band. Grinding levels up, it's all part of the plan. From pixels to glory, our story unfolds. Chasing down legends with hearts made of gold. Come together, we'll play all night. In this digital space, we shine so bright. LordBiegel, lead and watch the enemies fall. In this first-person dream, I give it my all. We rise from the ashes, champions we claim. In this realm of pixels, we're redefining the game. With every duel we conquer, the sound of our name echoes like thunder, we're rising to fame. Come together, we'll play all night. In this digital space, we shine so bright. LordBiegel, lead and watch the enemies fall. In this first-person dream, I give it my all. I got my headset on, I'm locked in the game. With every match I fight, seeking fortune and fame. Sniping at the enemies, I'm never feeling tame. In this virtual world, I carve out my name. Crown on my head, achievements in my sight. Every victory earned under the neon light. Come together, we'll play all night. In this digital space, we shine so bright. LordBiegel, lead and watch the enemies fall. In this first-person dream, I give it my all. Final Fantasy realms, magic in our hands, battling the monsters, together we stand. Every pulse of the fight, like a rock and roll band. Grinding levels up, it's all part of the plan. From pixels to glory, our story unfolds. Chasing down legends with hearts made of gold.
Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yes, I'm here. Hello, Jesse. Hello, John. I'm pretty sure the people will be funneling in here after a little bit. As you can see, I have a big trigger warning up here. Jeff from Boo Productions was talking about this stuff yesterday in their live stream, and Jeff, said a number of times that there was things that he was missing or didn't know about it. So I figured I would maybe cover the topic and bring a lot more statistics and other things to it. What up? What up is not a it's not gonna be a super fun conversation, I'll tell you that much, but I will do my best to keep it as lighthearted as I possibly can. Hello, Holly. Hello, Cal. Thank you guys for popping in. Anyone that's part of Team Rewatch, thank you guys for showing up for this. I know it's a very heavy topic, but a lot of people do. They want to know about. There's a lot of misinformation about there as well, so maybe covering it here might help in a way. I've got like 29 items, I think. 29 screenshots or something like that to kind of go over, along with a couple personal stories as well that I can share about some of the dangers of online games, predation towards children, towards women, and the like. Hello, Francis. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. There are going to be a various number of things of like what you can do to help protect yourself, help protect the kids. I believe I have a list of games that you can actually go to that are not going to have predators in them. I'm also going to kind of discuss why the predation is so rampant. And it is not just the parents' fault. I can assure you of that. Me being a parent, I do my damnedest to make sure that my kid, my oldest kid, doesn't really do anything online right now at the age of 8. He does not have a cell phone. He does not partake in any games. Roblox is definitely one that is banned in this house. He will never play it in this house. Even though his friends are trying to convince him he has to get it, we will not allow it. Just because we know better. Because Shy and I have been through these types of situations that I'll be discussing. Hello, Mayo. Hello, Kyle. Mayo and Kyle. Yeah, if at any point you guys do feel sick to your stomach, or you feel disgusted, you feel like you need to get away, you need to take a break, by all means fucking do it. All right. It is a very heavy topic to discuss. I am going to be discussing what has happened that's actually documented, that's through court systems, along with a number of surveys and the numbers associated with such surveys, along with current calculated numbers estimated within a certain parameters from various well-known sources. I am using simple discovery tool. You type it into Google your appropriate question, and it does use its AI program to give you a certain list of sources and the information from said sources, right? So anyone can look this stuff up. It is very easy to find. You can do deeper dives into it if you so choose. I will not, however, be showing the interview with the Roblox guy, the guy calling out the predators and being banned from that game and that platform. Jeff did an amazing job going over that interview in his live stream yesterday. There'll be, at the end of this stream, I'll drop a link down below to it, or one of the moderators can drop a link in here, and you guys can all click on it, go check it out. It was actually really good to sit and watch and be a part of that for a while, so it might not help, but if anyone needs, I did finish some silly, goofy drawings that I'm willing to show at any point on Discord. The hell was that noise? I think Shy sneezed upstairs. I appreciate that, Jesse. Yeah, the Project Community Discord is a nice, safe place for people to go visit. We usually have some fun stuff. There's a lot of crafting stuff there. Things to kind of get your mind out of this bad place, because this does cause people a lot of issues. So, is my window cracked open? The answer is yes. Yes, I do. Check the other window real quick. Oh, there we go. Thank you for that, Jesse. Here's Boo's video. Appreciate it. Jeff from Boo Productions. So, not video, the live, yeah. If at any point in time you guys have questions, do like you do in all the other chats, you know. You can either ask the question openly and someone will catch it, or you can just put a big Q next to it and whatever, and I'll try to make sure to pay attention to it. Right. Predation online is not a new thing. It's been going on for literal decades. The big difference, especially video game wise, now compared to like when I was a kid, middle schooler, high school kid, the majority of those games were strictly physical based. So you actually had to buy the actual disc itself and put it in your PC, put it in your PlayStation, put it in your Xbox. Even the Nintendos, Super Nintendos, N64s, they all had a physical copy of a game. And those physical copies actually had to be scrutinized a lot harder than online games are right now when it came to the age rating system, which I have a number of screenshots on that and discussions on that. And that's where a big issue comes in. Online games, like anything involving, let's say, online chats, games like Apex, Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, they are not scrutinized and they are not viewed as heavily as a physical game if it's a game that is built strictly online. The majority of them are rated 13 and above. And I actually have the exact numbers on how many mature games there are, how many E for everyone games, how many T for teen games there are. Even in the UK, they have a similar grading system. It's the PEGI system, like PEGI 16. You might hear that from time to time when you look at a game. PEGI 16 equals T for teen here in the US, so 13 and above on average. Majority of games are rated between E for everyone, which means 10 and above, basically. I think it's technically 6 and above, and then there's E10, which is 10 and above, and then T for teen. And then mature rated and adult rated games are the smallest of the entire gaming category. It makes it really hard, so it's a very big, crazy system. But we'll get into it, I promise. All right, let's get into the age rating first, because that's where a lot of the stuff comes from, is the age rating, and that explains how these children meet these predators, right? It's through the age rating system, because certain games, if they're rated E for everyone, 10 and above, you think you're perfectly safe, you can get it, it's going to be very cutesy or whatever. That's where these guys are going to be hanging out at, primarily. So I'm going to switch over here. Lots of screenshots. Okay. So this is where this stuff all started at right here. Kind of blocking that a little bit. Video game ratings officially started in the United States and Canada with the establishment of the Entertainment Software Rating Board, the ESRB, which is still used today. The ESRB still exists. It is kind of it's kind of lackluster. They don't really give like real big definitive standards for each rating. They kind of fall into a category, which you'll find here in a little bit. Following public concern over violent games like Mortal Kombat and Night Trap, the industry created this voluntary standardized system which began appearing on game packaging in September of 1994. So the ESRB has been around for a crap ton of years. All right, 31 years it's been around for. And it's gone through a number of changes during those 31 years. And it's because of those changes that have unfortunately led to some bigger issues. Okay. The early 2000s saw a significant rise in mature-rated games driven by 3D technology, a maturing game demographic, and the industry's pushing back against the toys for kids stigma. So basically between the 90s and the mid-2000s, most games were rated as mature because they had blood, they had violence, they had drug use, they had sexual content, sexual innuendos and such, and a majority of them were made for adults or 17 and above. That began to change over time when gaming companies realized that if they wanted to stay afloat, they'd have to make games for younger audiences as well. The rise of mature audiences, the gamers from the 90s grew up, companies pushed for darker, more mature content such as the 6th generation of consoles to cater to an older audience. Like I said in Boo's stream, most video games are actually made for adults. A lot of the stories, like let's take games that I've played on stream, right? Final Fantasy X is a teen and above game. It's kind of more adultish because you are going through killing stuff. You're watching people get massacred, killed. It's talking about deep political and religious aspects. Final Fantasy VII is very similar. 8 is very similar. 9 is extremely dark. But they are kind of rated for a teen and above. And even back when I was a kid, back in my teenage years, it was still really fucking dark. Hasn't really changed a whole lot. Look at Expedition 33. I think the game's rated mature because of everything that goes through it. But yeah, a lot of young kids have played that, unfortunately. The technological shift, the move from 2D to 3D graphics allowed for more realistic graphic violence and consequently more M ratings. That is very true. That was what was going on in the 90s and into the early 2000s. Social media and social context. Despite intense public scrutiny and accusations, the games caused violence. M-rated games grew in popularity, defying expectations, and that such content would limit sales. When I was young, my cousin and I would actually be playing the Grand Theft Auto games almost as soon as they came out. We should not have been allowed to, but all it took was one of either my grandparent, my parent, or her mom or father to buy it for us. That's all it took. And the storekeepers would even say, this is a game for mature children, and the phrase that would come out is, they're very mature for their age. And that's just what happened. Unfortunately, some children like playing adult games. My godkids, when they were too young, asked to play Grand Theft Auto 5, and I had to keep saying no. Yep. It's because that's what the end thing is. If you start playing those adult games, you can talk about those adult games with your friends and stuff, right? Because they've gotten to play, because they watch their brother play, or yada, yada, yada. It's exactly what happens. That's the way it is. Later data, while early 2000s, like 2001, 2003, saw a surge in cultural impact from M-rated games, data from the mid-2000s indicated that while M-rated games were growing in revenue, the overall percentage of M-rated titles actually began to be surpassed by E-rated games as the industry matured. So it was during this mid-2000 period where M-rated became E-rated. So from M for mature to E for everyone. Kind of where the problem started. God damn it. I gotta scroll on like these in this. So contextual factors. Reddit users on Reddit subreddit games pointed out that the absence of an ESRB E10 rating until 2005 meant some games received higher ratings than necessary, sometimes skewing mature perception. GameSpot reports indicated that by 2007, M-rated games achieved the highest average sales despite compromising a smaller percentage of total releases. Yeah, my camera's blocking that a little bit. But that's what ended up happening. These M-rated games, they sold really, really well. But a smaller percent of releases. Gaming companies need to have high number of releases to keep going. That's also why things started to change. Ooh, shit. I went too far on that one. Nope, I was right. Okay, the age rating for video games are determined by independent, industry-organized boards like the ESRB in the US or PEGI in Europe that analyze submitted content for violence, sexual content, language, and substance use. Raters review questionnaires and gameplay footage to assign age-appropriate ratings and content descriptors. What does this mean? This means some random people who likely are not actually gamers at all, they're just a random independent industry organized board, get to decide what your game is going to be rated based on what they witness during a short time period. That short time period can be anywhere from 5 minutes to a full hour of footage. It has to be uncut, unedited footage, but it's a very small amount. Most games, even back in the mid 90s to early 2000s, they're a 40-hour game. If you're only watching an hour of it, you're not getting the full context of what happens at all. Take Legend of Dragoon, right here. Legend of Dragoon, we have death, we have crazy relationship stuff, we have people wearing skimpy outfits, we have worlds being destroyed, we have religious and political aspects. That's a T for teen. That is a 40-hour game. It is T for teen. Because there's no blood. There is no blood in the game. There's death. There's violence. There's drunkenness. There's destruction of property, arson. No blood. So it's rated for teen. It's insane how their rating system works. But if you're only given a very small amount of information to go off of, you have to rate whatever you see, right? As you can read here, submission and review. Publishers submit detailed, often unedited footage of the most intense gameplay, including cutscenes, to the rating board. It says most intense, but that doesn't mean a thing. It could be intense at that moment. It might not be intense throughout the entire thing. A panel of trained independent raters reviews the material to evaluate the context and intensity of the content. Ratings are generally divided into age categories: early childhood, everyone, teen, and mature. At least, here in the US, I think it's slightly written a little different in the UK. Detailed tags are added to explain why a game receives a certain rating: blood, intense violence, strong language. Like I said, most of the games in the late 90s, early 2000s, primarily all rated M. There was still a lot of teen games, but a lot of them were rated M for mature because they had a lot of blood, intense violence, strong language, cartoon violence. They had drug abuse, substance abuse, sexual content, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on and on and on. But the big thing is those were physical games. This is a physical game. These games were scrutinized far more than anything else. Okay. These are all physical games. Battlefield, rated M. We have rated M for The Witcher. Dark Souls, rated M. Final Fantasy 15, rated teen. You actually see a lot of murder and a lot of weird stuff in that game. Abzu, rated E for everyone. These are physical games. They have to be looked at far more deeply and intensely than online games. Okay? The rating system still exists. It's still going on today. Only one of those games, technically two if you want to do Dark Souls 3, really only one of those games is online. Battlefield. Online. Still rated mature. Battlefield 6, rated mature. Call of Duty, rated mature. We grew up with the more kid-friendly systems, I believe. We did not. We grew up with systems that did not have online connection. That's the difference. I grew up on N64, Super Nintendo, NES, PlayStation, Dreamcast, Sega, Saturn, Sega Genesis. They did not have internet connection that was, for the most part, reliable. I believe the Dreamcast could be connected to the internet. The PS2 could be as well. Xbox 360 was. Xbox, I believe you could if you had the right connections. But internet back then, dial-up, also wasn't very great. It was very limited. That was the biggest difference. And that has been the big difference in the gaming industry, is the introduction of the actual internet. That's where all this stuff changes. Internet games, live service games, are not scrutinized by a age rating system as much as a physical game. And it's changed a shit ton over the years. Over the last 25 years, it has changed dramatically. Unfortunately, it's going to continue to change, and it's only going to continue to get more than likely more dangerous. And I will have things to discuss that as we go on as well. This is their age thing right here. We have EC, early childhood, which is ages 3+. Okay. E for everyone, ages 6 and up. E10, ages 10 and up. T, ages 13 and up. Mature, 7 and up. AO, adults only. You really don't see that very often. RP, rating pending, not assigned. Rating pending actually ends up being kind of what happens to a lot of online things. Rating pending. Because it's hard to determine what rating an online game should get until the online game has been out for X amount of time. The PEGI rating is 3+ to 7+, suitable for young children. 12 to 16 contains moderate realistic violence, bad language. 18 adult only, extreme violence and sexual content. So their stuff's slightly different. Mayo, my parents locked the Wi-Fi connection to the PlayStation. Yes, we've done that with the Switch for our oldest boy. If it requires Wi-Fi, we couldn't use their access network without a separate password. That is exactly what we've set up for him, because he found himself, unfortunately, in a open realm on Minecraft, which I didn't really do much Minecraft when we first got it for him, so I didn't know that existed. And I found that out. I took it from him. I removed him from that realm. I removed any conversations he had with people, and I blocked Wi-Fi access to him. So he didn't get any updates for Minecraft for a very long time. Even though he saw them on TV, he didn't get to have them. Content descriptors for the ESRB, we have violence, ranges from cartoon to real intense graphic, blood and gore, common and M-rated games, drug use found in teen and M-rated games. On other factors, online interactions, games may feature unrated content due to online play. Unrated content. This is where these people kind of slowly start getting their access. Because if it is unrated content, you don't know what your kids are them getting into, because you're going off of whatever the box says, whatever the game describes. It's right here. Online interactions. Game may feature unrated content. That started off in Halo. It started off way back then. You didn't know what the online stuff would be. This is where the predators started creeping in, and they crept in fast. AOL chat rooms, the ASL chat rooms, it got hard, it got heavy. There was Ventrilo, Skype, there was MySpace chat rooms that were there. Yeah. Unrated content does not necessarily mean sex or other. It could also mean general. Yes, it is just unrated. They don't know what it has. It's not that it is involving sex at all. Correct. But a lot of games have online interactions now that are rated as unrated, because the developers don't know what's going to happen, which is why it is considered unrated. But I do have a list of actual children's games that are completely safe for kids to play that do not have online access, which is what parents should be trying to get their kids to do. And they are educational games as well, more so than, shooting up the neighborhood. I'm just really grateful I didn't experience anything weird like this on Roblox. I have a number of stories involving Roblox down the way here. Here we go. T for teen games. I'm going to back this up a little bit here. I'm going to close the YouTube chat for a minute and the webcam here. In 2025, games rated T for teen, 13 and above, accounted for nearly a quarter of all physical and console downloadable games assigned by the rating ESRB system. This is consistent with 2024, where T-rated games also represented 23% of the total, amounting to more than, 1,100 to 1,500 games. Yes, the devs also know what's going to happen. Albert, yes, that is because other players are going to be involved, and, they have to have some form of warning, but they ultimately know what's going to happen. Games for teenagers, though, in 2025 alone, 13 and above counted for a quarter of all games released. 1/4. Games were primarily designed for adults. Teen games can have a lot of violence. Teen games can have a lot of, unfortunately now microtransactions as well. And they carry a lot of predators. Not just for the children. Women are used as prey as well. So, the key details regarding T-rated games. Definition of T-rating indicates a game is generally suitable for ages 13 and up. Content. These games may contain violence, suggestive themes, crude humor, minimal blood, simulated gambling, and or infrequent use of strong language. I don't know about you guys, but my personal opinion, it really shouldn't be for a teen. I think that that should probably be mature. If it says may contain cartoon violence, I can take that as a teen game. And maybe get rid of the suggestive themes and the gambling. That shouldn't be in there as well. And, you know, infrequent use of strong language. Yeah, okay, we have a lot of movies that are made for children that might use one bad word, yada, yada, yada. I could deal with that. I've had an issue with the ESRB system for a number of years, just in how things are rated. Work in a place where all ages are welcome. In our teen section, it's worse than any adult content I've read, but that's what's important to them. Yes, devs just trying to find loopholes to protect their bottom dollar. Okay, devil's advocate for one moment here. If a gaming company made games strictly for one particular group, right, only for, let's say, mature audiences only, that gaming company will die. The only one that has succeeded in this is Rockstar. But Rockstar does not only partake in mature rated games. They do have some publishing houses associated with Rockstar that do work on teen games, because teen games do cover a larger audience than mature. And trust me, you will see some of these games in here and you'll be shocked at their teen games. I guarantee you. T is the second most common rating after E for everyone. 2004, 33% of games were rated T, with the number of T-rated games remaining significantly over the years, accompanied by over 9,000 titles. It's the ESRB, the way they have people rate things, and they're not actual like gamers themselves, is kind of where a big problem lies. It's not so much the developers of the game, but the rating system the game has to go through. Now, since live service games are around, the rating system is kind of out the window. It really sucks. Examples of T-rated games: Marvel vs. Capcom, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I don't know about you guys, but if you ever watched Star Wars Jedi Survivor, you're killing everything with a fucking lightsaber. You're watching people get destroyed. You are destroying people. You're destroying creatures. You're destroying robots. You're cutting them in half. You are doing some wild, crazy shit. Fortnite, due to varied content, is considered to be T for teen. Dark Souls 2 is a teen game, when Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls and Bloodborne and Elden Ring are all actually mature rated. Dark Souls 2, teen. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Sex sells, that's it. Sex does sell. But it's sex is going to continue to sell no matter whatever happens. To be fair, we can say the same thing with TV. Yes, TV and movie ratings are the same. They have different requirements, but I think they're all basically fucking arbitrary in my opinion. They need to have someone else do the things better. Studies: T-rated games often contain substantial amount of violence, with 90% of a sampled 81 games in 2004 study requiring the player to injure characters, and 69% involving killing, even if not graphically depicted. A lot of games that have you do that, they have you, like, let's say Fallout 3, you can activate the atom bomb. The atom bomb can actually go off in the town, and you can be on a completely different location, and you literally just see it explode. You know in your mind that you just destroyed an entire town of people with an atomic bomb. It's there. You know it happened, but you didn't see it happen. But you know it did. Just putting that out there. In 2025, or 3,500 video games, or about 52% of all games rated physical and console titles, were rated E for everyone by the ESRB. 50% in 2025 are rated E for everyone. That is 10 and above. With minimal cartoon or mild violence. Sounds like Roblox. 52% of games rated E for everyone. 49% of games rated E for everyone. The numbers are going to continue to increase. Trends: 2023 to 2024, E was the most common rating, with 65% 98% of all console games rated either E or E for 10. Most console games do not have to go live. Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go were 2 separate ages as well. One is for juvenile, one is for young adult and up. Same kind. Yes, Teen Titans was far more young adult, actual teenage grouping. Teen Titans Go is very much for juvenile. They make a lot of fart jokes and butt jokes and a whole bunch of other things. They do have some weird things that maybe they shouldn't be in there, but yes, very different. And yet they still are on the same network. Although I think Teen Titans got taken off the air, but mature, rated 17 and older. Age restriction. The core number associated with mature games is 17. I don't know why it had to be 17, but it's 17 plus. Retailers generally prohibit the sale of M-rated games to customers that are under 17 years old, which is why you'd have a parent buy you the game, and it works. That's what happened back in the day. It's what's happening right now. But it is not all on the parent. The ESRB rating system does have a lot to do with this because it is completely vague. It is so asinine. It is not done well. It is basically what is going to cause these issues by putting people in places they shouldn't be. AO for adults only is 18 and above. Why they can't make them the same, I really don't know. There isn't much of a difference. Actually, the only difference between 18 plus and 17 is 18 plus will have actual nudity. That's the only difference. It may not be sex. It'll strictly be nudity, whether it's one nipple or a penis. That is the difference. One bit of nudity makes it 18 plus or 17. They can have the same violence, the same drug use, the same swearing. They can have everything else, the whole 9 yards. If it has nudity, it has to be 18 plus. But I think that did change because if I remember, God of War games were rated mature, 17 and above, and they had nipples on a number of the gods that Kratos does end up killing. I believe they had jiggly titties, they had nipples, and it was rated 17 plus. I'm pretty sure. So I think that has changed recently, but the difference is so fucking minute between adults only and 17. 2024, only about 12% of physical and console games were rated M. So the number is only going down. They're not doing rated mature anymore. They want to hit that teen area. They want to hit the E for everyone area because that's where all the money comes in. Same with Witcher. Yes, Witcher, and I just showed that here. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is rated M for mature due to nudity is in this, intense violence, blood, and gore. Back when nudity made it 18 plus. Baldur's Gate, yes. I was carded for a mature game because the GameStop thought I was under 18 until he read my ID and I saw he was and saw I was his age. It's a very, very common thing. Like, I believe if you're getting a game that puts you at a 17, a mature game, 17 and above, you should be carded. Straight up. You really should be. So I think what ended up happening is the ESRB changed the nudity thing to add it to a 17 plus, which then adults only would have to be for actual sex, which I think is fucking disgusting, personally. If the difference will be that damn minute, you might as well just make any game that has any type of nudity in it 18 plus. 17 is still a minor in the States, so fuck it. Make it 18, in my personal opinion. Okay, I'll get into that in a second. We'll have a brief little break before we get into the nasty stuff. Same with Northlands. Viking futuristic, like it was a beautiful game but violent, like Gears of War. I've never heard of Northlands, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. So I'm taking a brief break to let people take a breather and stuff like that. They would ask you up for coffee. Yes, they did. So you didn't actually see that was going on. You could use cheats and you could see it, but you could hear the coffee time, right, with your potential partner in the Grand Theft Auto games. from Northlands, sorry. I don't think I've ever seen it. At least not that I recall. I don't think I ever have. But yeah, Wolf. GTA San Andreas. I think San Andreas started it, and then it was taken over in GTA 4. GTA 5 definitely had it. GTA 6, I have no idea if they're going to bring it around again or not. They probably will. It's Rockstar. They probably will. Rockstar tries to make it so that children don't play their games by making it strictly on the parents to, not buy them, but... Do you mean Borderlands? Viking futuristic. I mean, I guess you could say Borderlands is kind of that way, but Borderlands is way just a post-apocalyptic, basically. Not really Viking-y, but, Okay. Last night on Jeff's live, Jeff made the comment that it's really hard to say the word pedophile. Say the word pedo. And you gotta use PDF file or whatever. No, say the fucking word. Call him a pedophile. It's fine. You can use the word. It's actually not banned on YouTube. Surprisingly enough, it's not. You can use it. It just means that no one's going to want to deal with sponsoring the video and monetizing the video. Now, there is another phrase you can use, and I'm going to show you this phrase because it's used a lot. I actually have a shirt that says, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. And the question is, where's the map? And it has a crosshair over the map flag, because I'm not for people that have attractions to children. So I have this shirt. A lot of people don't like that shirt and they say it is bad. No, I say it is a great shirt. And MAP is another word for a pedophile. It stands for minor attracted persons. It is how a lot of people wish to be called. Call them what they are. They're a pedophile. They're a predator. I don't care. They are a predator. They are a pedophile. This video will never be monetized. I'm perfectly fine by that. I don't give a fuck. None of my videos are monetized. I don't give a fuck. Censoring themselves online, it has put fear into people using words to discuss these topics, not talking specifically about YouTube. Yes, it happens everywhere. It happens on Twitch. It happens here. People do it. Well, they don't do it as often on Twitter. Their Twitter is that's a fucking shit show of pedophiles all over the place. We should not be censoring ourselves or silencing ourselves when it comes to these types of matters. You should speak openly and plainly so that things are not misconstrued or mistaken. Yeah. The next little bit I'm going to go over is kind of how all this stuff happens, how these pedophiles, these minor attracted persons get into these environments, what they do, and how they act. Okay. As I said before, all this information you can find on Google. I'm also going to show what you can do to protect yourself, what you can do to protect your kids, what you can do to, who you can contact for all this stuff. Because I'm not afraid to admit it, and I've said it before, any of these fucking people, they should get concrete shoes. They should feed the, they should feed the marine life at the bottom of the ocean, in my personal opinion. Because their life means nothing else. You can either feed something that could feast off of your remains, and that's about all you can offer to the world. I don't give a fuck who you are. So. Oh, boy. Okay. A minor attracted person, or a MAP, communities that are generally advised to be avoided, particularly by law enforcement, child protection advocates, and public safety researchers, are those that normalize, encourage, or facilitate harmful behavior toward children. While in some spaces claim to be non-offending support groups, they can act like echo chambers for illegal activity or grooming. Okay? Yeah, Kyle, YouTube will do that from time to time. It'll just kick your thing right off. There are actual groups out there that are strictly predators. They are support groups for themselves to kick the habit of loving children. In reality, they end up, like I said, becoming an echo chamber for illegal activities and grooming, according to a number of sources. Mistakenly read my view of punishment for those disgusting people. Hey, I believe their punishment should be the harshest thing available. Slowly dying underwater, knowing that their death is coming. That's my personal opinion. These guys are in a lot of digital spaces, and they have a lot of different behaviors. A lot of these behaviors, I'm going to turn the chat off for just a moment here. I'm going to get rid of the Twitch chat too. A lot of these behaviors you can find fucking everywhere. Unmoderated online forums. This is any place that you can get into where no one is there to provide safety, and they fucking love being here. Platforms that provide a space for individuals to discuss attractions to minors can lead to the normalization of harmful thoughts. Even if a forum claims to be for non-offending individuals, the lack of professional oversight can create environments where illegal behavior is discussed or encouraged. This happens all the time. This actually happens inside of video games and is brought to other platforms like Discord, like Skype, like Teams, like what was one that Shy wrote down earlier? I don't know if it still exists. Ventrilo, I think was what she used. Then there was Stickam or Stickam or something along those lines. Other places to bring people. We actually ran into a number of people that use these types of groups to then prey on other people, right? If they get into a side of group here, then they take these people to a different location, then to a different location, then to a different location, just to prey upon them and other people in those other locations. Snapchat, yes, Snapchat is used as well. I have a story about that involving a kidnapping. So I will, yeah. Snapchat is not any better. Snapchat, you can take a picture of yourself completely nude and it will disappear. But the person that receives it can take a screenshot of it and keep it forever and trade it to whoever they want to. A friend of mine had to call her that at this point is engaged to a piece of shit who had a year-long affair with a 15-year-old girl that he planned to pimp out. I'm not shocked. I am not shocked. One of the reasons that Shy isn't here to discuss this, and I have a story of hers to share later. She ended up being SA'd by an individual when she was younger who was a friend of her at that time boyfriend by being love bombed through online spaces and stuff. And that's exactly what these individuals who attack children do. These individuals who go after other women and prey upon them, they love bomb, they give gifts, they make them feel pretty, they make them feel seen and acknowledged, and usually it ends up being a bad situation for the kids, the women. In my case, I have had some of that stuff happen to me, and I've discussed that on stream a number of times as well. It can happen to anybody. It happens to everybody in one way, shape, form, or another, but you may not know what ever happened either. And for individuals out there that do that, they can go fuck right off. Straight up. Without any fucking hesitation in that statement. Okay. The encrypted messaging in private groups, highly private or encrypted channels are frequently used to bypass safety filters, share illegal content, or facilitate grooming behavior. We know, Snapchat does that, is a highly private or encrypted thing. It removes the images afterwards. Facebook started actually releasing, I think it was a year or two ago, encrypted messaging on Messenger so that people who are having affairs wouldn't get caught by their spouses. It is not just in games, it is everywhere, and everything, no matter how much they tell you it's out to protect you, it's not. It's not. You have to protect yourself by knowing what to avoid, what to look for. Movements seeking normalization, groups that attempt to redefine clinical terms by using new labels to bypass social stigma, are often viewed as efforts to gain legitimacy for harmful behaviors. That is why they want to be called a MAP, a minor attracted person, because being called a fucking pedophile has a stigma. And they don't want that stigma, but it is what they are. So for people who are too fucking afraid to use the word pedophile, you can call them a minor attracted person. Then you better put down they are a minor attracted pedophile. Or a minor attracted predator. Or a worthless piece of shit. And if you're too afraid to say the goddamn word, you shouldn't be talking on the topic at all. I will close my cam for a second here. Disinformation campaigns, malicious campaigns on social media sometimes attempt to link pedophilia with legitimate advocacy groups or use hoaxes to desensitize the public to child exploitation. That means that groups that are actually out to help children are, claimed to be run by pedophiles, when a large majority of those groups are not. A large majority of those groups are actually people trying to help kids. This also comes back around to individuals trying to protect women, but are actually going out of their way to sexually utilize women, let's say, whether it's pimping them out or obtaining photographs of them or trying to date multiple of them to satisfy your own sexual gratification. It is the same thing. You claim other people are doing this and that you are a safe space, a safe individual, and then you're the one that's actually perpetrating the crime. It is very fucking common. It is very sickening, and it happens in the gaming industry, in video games, all the fucking time. All the fucking time. A big reason I wanted to kind of talk about this is I do know that certain individuals are up there in age. They're a little bit older. They may not be as tech savvy. They may not understand the system as well. And I'm not saying that about Jeff, but I'm kind of saying it about Jeff in a in a fun, poking way. Not to belittle him or be rude or anything against him, because I like Jeff. But he stated many times, he's up there in his 50s and he's not super tech savvy. He's not been around this environment for that long. And I figured that maybe someone who does have kids currently going through this type of situation, avoiding these online groups, someone that has been a part of this predation, me and Shy have both been preyed upon by individuals at different stages in our lives, and being born of the gaming era, maybe I could add a little bit of context to show that there's more to it than just one bad game or two bad games. It's an entire mentality that is bad. It's an entire system that's fucked up and broken. And to fix it, there's only small things we can do personally, individually, to protect ourselves and to protect our kids. But if you know other people that have suffered through this stuff, you can send them this information. You can look it up yourself. You can discuss it and try to help anyone and everyone. There are going to be locations you can contact, numbers you can call, groups you can reach out to if any of you in the Team Rewatch or right now on the live have suffered online predation. As a woman, as a man, as a child, it doesn't fucking matter. You can contact somebody. Hello, heart. Hello. I am going to get back into online censorship for age specific. No, not censorship. Predation. I live this every day. You never get over it. You never have a moment's peace because you constantly overthink yourself. Yes. Yep. That's one of the reasons Shy is very timid about who she actually talks to. That's why she doesn't do a lot of streams with me. She doesn't feel comfortable a lot of the time. It's just one of those things. No, we're not talking about censorship. Online predators. there is some censorship that we should have, and the fact that we don't is ridiculous, but that's just my opinion. So let's get over here. Lurking leveling, awesome. Thank you for stopping in, Raven. Online predators use social media, gaming platforms, and messaging apps to target, groom, and exploit children and teenagers. Reports of online enticement have surged, with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the NCMEC, receiving over 546,000 reports of grooming in 2024. Allow me to repeat this. Over 500,000 reports in 1 year just of grooming in online platforms, games, messaging apps. 500,000 reports. That's just the United States. That is where the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is out of, the United States. So look at the chat called Chat with Strangers. Yep. Don't blame her. It never goes away. Just learn to live around it. Yeah. Shy has suffered a number of times. And I will discuss her story, and I will discuss my story, and they're going to be vastly different. So harsher laws for predators. That was my polite response. No, don't be polite about it. They need to be fucking offed. If it's proven, they need to be offed straight up. Yeah, like I said, 500,000 reports just in 2024. Over 500,000. How predators operate. Now, these people that want to be called MAP, right, minor attractive persons, this is how they operate inside of social chat rooms, video games, the whole 9 yards. They operate the same way each and every fucking time. They groom. They make fake accounts and they groom. Predators build trust by offering attention, gifts, game currency like Robux in Roblox. They do mine coins in Minecraft. They do gold in WoW. They give you gil in Final Fantasy XIV. They will give you things to make you feel like you're a friend of theirs, or acting as a sympathetic friend to listen to your pain and your woes. That's what these fucksticks do. They target vulnerability. They look for children with low self-esteem, family conflict, or those seeking emotional validation. In today's society, because everything, you have to be smiling, you have to be happy, you have to be showing that you are, the best of the best that you could possibly ever be. You're always looking for validation. That's why TikTok exists, Snapchat exists. It's why Instagram is there. It's why Facebook is still going, because you are showing, look at me, give me validation. And if you don't end up getting that validation, and these fuckers understand that and they realize that, they will prey on you, whether you're a woman, a man, or a child. And there's other groups that go out of their way to do this shit, to cause you fucked up crap. Yeah, Cal, it's not an uncommon experience. It's not. Predators try to isolate children from parents and friends, often urging them to keep their online relationship a secret. This is a big thing right here, the isolation. A lot of kids won't tell the parents. A vast number of them won't tell the parents. They won't even tell their friends. Because they feel that keeping a secret sometimes is a good thing. Like, hey, I got one up on my parents type of situation. My oldest tried doing that. That's why he lost all Wi-Fi and internet connection to his Switch. Completely lost it all because he broke my trust with that. When he was in a Minecraft open realm talking to people and explaining to them that he was a young kid. Because he didn't know any better at that moment in time, and I didn't know that he could get into a Minecraft open realm because I didn't play Minecraft that much. Once I realized that, he lost his Wi-Fi privilege. and he tried to keep it from us. Only worked for about 3 hours, but he tried. Platform hopping. They often try to move conversations from public social media to private encrypted apps like Discord to avoid detection. One of the other things about platform hopping is if you have bad predators. Hold on. Follow my train of thought. All predators are bad, right? I'm going to do this without the distraction for the moment. All predators are bad. What I mean by a bad predator is someone that is openly preying on people that is very blatantly obvious. They are the bad predators. When the bad predators, the ones that are easily caught, get caught, the good predators, the ones that take the time to plan everything out, to get to know the kids, they vanish. They move on. They move to a whole nother platform, a whole nother game to start preying again. Because they're doing, they're preying in a very set format to avoid being caught. And once they realize others are getting caught on their game or on their platform, they kick themselves out to a whole nother system and they start doing it there. That's why they have not been caught, because they are good at preying on people. They are good at avoiding detection. The bad predators are really fucking bad at avoiding detection, and they get caught very easily. Unfortunately, then we lose the ones that we really, really need to catch. The ones that have been doing it for probably years at this point. And it really sucks that they get away almost each and every fucking time until they actually fuck up. Yes, they are bad at what they do, and what they're doing is extremely bad. And then the ones that are good at what they do by convincing children to trust them and give them what they want continue to move on and hide and are not, they don't have to confront law enforcement like we want them to, or the end of a barrel, but I will be bringing that up later, Hart. Don't worry about it. I got it. It's coming. Trust me. It's coming. Oop, shit, too far. Sextortion. This is one thing that's been brought up a few times with other people. A major threat where predators manipulate children into sending explicit photos or videos, then threaten to expose them to family and friends unless more content or money is provided. This happens a lot, not just to children. It happens to women as well. It happens to men sometimes as well. Not as often, but it does. And when it happens to a man, we won't tell a single fucking soul that we got duped. Because society as a whole will never let us live it down. But sextortion is another thing that happens. There are groups that go out of their way to fucking do it. It is fucking... It's terrible, right? But it's not just games. It's not just social platforms. It's not just communities. It is an amalgamation of all of it. All together. And they all connect to each other. I do a lot of games, and right now, I've got WoW going on. I've got people inside this community, Cal, Hart, Raven, Mayo, Boogie, Kyle, Wolf, right? They're putting themselves into an MMO, and a lot of MMOs are full of predators. Completely full of predators, because that's where you have the open chats. That's where you have the connection. That's where you can build rapport. And it's, it fucking sucks. So it's kind of like one of the reasons I want to talk about it and cover things that Jeff didn't cover and give you guys like more straight answers on how to deal with this stuff. The rising threats, AI technology. Would you look at that? Predators use artificial intelligence to create deep fake images and videos, making them more realistic for blackmail or to create fake child sexual abuse material. What they can do is, let's say you have a picture of your son or your daughter online, right? They can take that photo, they can put it through AI, have all the clothes removed to see theoretically what your child looks like with no clothing on. It happens all the fucking time. My kids are nowhere online. No photos of them. Because of this. Because AI is not regulated. AI is not restricted. AI, the AI tools, specifically AI tools, you can do whatever. Yes, heart, they are doing it to each other. I haven't seen Jeff's vid yet. This is a trigger for me. Jeff's video is more focused strictly on the game Roblox and the discovery there. But you have a good night, Ann. Take your time. I come from before that. They were just bad. Yep. Do what you got to do. Yes, kids are using AI on each other. They're definitely doing that. Like I said, I'm not going to have any problems if other people don't want to be around, don't want to pay attention to this. They don't want to listen to it. Not pay attention, but don't want to be involved. I completely understand it. It sucks. It really does. And a lot of people have suffered from it. And unfortunately, the suffering is going to continue, you know. This is an actual group called the 764. They're identified by the FBI for not only sexual exploitation, but for coercing children into self-harm, animal cruelty, or suicide. It is an actual thing. They are out there. They primarily do the exact same thing as the predators, right? Whether it's in gaming, social media, wherever, they're there, right? Exactly right. That's why the trigger warning is there. You don't want to watch, don't watch. This is all this stream is going to be until the very end, basically, is this type of conversation. And a lot of people, because they do suffer or have suffered from this, do get triggered by it. Sometimes it doesn't get out there as much. Asking my kids if they've heard of that. 764 is an actual thing, right? It's a group grooming. Multiple predators may work together to target, manipulate, and share sexual material involving children. They have their own groups. You can check out that. You can look them up online. You can find them in various places. Other people that do deal with cults and the like know of this group. They know what they do. They know who they primarily target. Right? Parents should be aware of several indicators. The secretive behavior. This is for all online predatory grooming and such. Secretive behavior. Child hides their screen, quickly closes apps, or acts nervous when adult enters the room. Yeah, the kids normally don't know that that's going on, but there are signs that it would be that group. Now, I can say that there were a lot of times I had stuff from my father. I had stuff from my grandparents, right? But secretive behavior is usually the first indicator that something's going on. How's it going, Jeff? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm discussing your stuff and beyond, my friend, and beyond. The stuff outside of just the gaming world. Gaming world involved, but beyond as well. Unusual friendships. A child mentions an online friend who is older or tries to keep their relationship a secret. The sudden changes. The child becomes withdrawn, depressed, or shows signs of anxiety. That could be a different factor as well, but this type of situation is a big part of it. Gifts. The child receives unexpected packages or digital gifts from strangers. They can be physical gifts delivered to the house. That there are cases of that actually happening, where an individual became very stalker-like, very obsessed with a child, and would deliver actual gifts for said child at their actual home residence. It is an actual thing. It does happen. So if you have kids, if you have grandkids, you have to tell them straight up, do not give away your address. You were shocked when you watched this stuff. This stuff's been going on for over 25 years, Jeff. This stuff is not new, my friend. It is not new at all. I suffered grooming. I've suffered predatory stuff. My wife has suffered from it. I actually have her story written down that I'll be discussing because she said I could, along with the love bombing and then the unfortunate outcome of that as well. And this one down here, increased online time. That one is kind of tossed up in the air if they spend more time online or not. Child predation involving games, involving communities is not new. It is extremely common. I actually mentioned a fact in here earlier that nearly over 500,000 reports of child grooming happened in 2024. Over 500,000 reports of grooming in the United States in 2024. It is not uncommon. It is very, very rampant. Extremely so, actually. And it's very heartbreaking that that we don't have enough things to stop it. And the things that we had in place to stop it have been adjusted. They've been altered. They've gone out of style, I guess. And it's getting worse. Yeah, it's definitely getting worse. Oops. Okay, yeah, I'll grab one. Now this is kind of like where the women kind of come in a bit more, because it's not just the children, it's women as well. Women are frequently targeted by harassment and toxic behavior in gaming and online communities, with studies indicating that roughly 2/3 of female gamers experience some form of abuse. We've had a number of people discuss that in here. This includes gender-based, verbal, and sexual harassment, leading many women to hide their gender or avoid using voice chat to evade targeting. It is not just children. It's not just women either. It does happen to men. Yep, I've had people already decide to opt out and get out of here because it is a very heavy topic. And I'm not beating around the bush. I'm giving straight information is the biggest thing. The prevalence of harassment. Reports indicate that 65 to 70% of women have experienced gender-based discrimination or harassment while gaming. This is primarily online that this harassment happens. And I actually have information that comes later that may shock you guys all about what happens after the online harassment happens. Yeah, everyone is susceptible. There is no bias. The types of abuse, harassment ranges from the sexist comments and verbal abuse 42% of the time to sexual harassment 30% of the time. Threats and sexualized, hostile, or demeaning behavior. Such experiences cause women to leave games or avoid online play entirely. It does. It's kind of one of the reasons why I'm perfectly fine with people staying hidden, right? I don't need to know your actual names. I don't need to hear your actual voices. I don't need to see your actual faces. I don't. I will use your YouTube name. I'll use your Twitch name. I'll use your game name. I don't need to know who you are. Not because I don't want to understand you, not because I don't want to get to know you, but it is a safety thing for you, right? It's why I don't worry about me. I don't give away Shy's full name. I don't give away my kids' names, right? It's for their own protection and safety. It's personal for a lot of people because of how common it has become. Yes. It's happened to a lot of people, and you may not even know that it ever happened, but you can go back through the stream and find the section where I talk about the signs of it going on, what the predators actually do to get the kids, to get the women, to get the other people, right? Those are what you need to look out for. Those are the signs. And if you have a friend that is suffering that, you need to have them contact their local law enforcement, usually, to deal with it. You can report, you can block, you can do that. Sometimes it won't end it, as we've discovered from a group of individuals. They keep coming over and over. Every so often, right? Blocking and reporting helps, but it doesn't always stop it. And it's not just in a single community. It's not just in games. It is every single community. I know a number of people actually in the paranormal community, of which I enjoy being a part of, that are predators. They don't prey on children that I'm aware of, but they prey on women. There's a number of them. I know 5 off the top of my head right now that I can name that do prey on women. So it's everywhere, every corner, every facet. And if you understand and think of some of the names in your own head when I say I know 5, we're probably thinking the same people, just so you know. Targeting of content creators is a very big thing. High-profile female developers, streamers, and reviewers have been victims of targeted hate campaigns, including doxing and severe threats. This has happened to a number of people, especially Twitch. Female Twitch content creators have been sought out. An individual actually found the address of a female content creator, drove to her home, and set her car on fire. I shit you not. Set a car on fire outside of her home. 5 in the community. 5 that have been accused. 5 that have been accused. That much I can say. I know 5 that have been accused inside the paranormal community. I can say for certain, I think 2 of them might be fully 100% accurate. But because I don't have any evidence, I can't make any large claims about it. That's the problem. I don't have it. But those that have suffered, they do have it. And they really, really should show it. You get enough people in these communities talking, you'll find more. It does not take much. Some of them are not part of our direct communities, like they're not part of like Beardo or Seg, but they are around the community, if that kind of makes some sense, right? They're not in the direct line of it. They're more in the outer skirts of it that try to weasel into the direct areas. But like I said, I don't have enough physical evidence to prove this, but people out there do. And those people should bring that evidence forward. Yeah. A lot of them that do it are very good at scrubbing it because they don't want to get caught because they want to stay where they are. A lot of them try to scrub it because they don't want to get caught. And they also have a tendency to block people that will accuse them of it by bringing them into the light. Persistent problem. Despite increased awareness and efforts to improve, toxic behavior remains a persistent issue, often driven by anonymity, keeping yourself hidden. Yeah. While some games are considered inclusive, the industry still faces a uniquely uncivil environment for women. However, increased ongoing and in some cases slightly reduced levels of toxicity are being reported. Yeah, like I said, I don't have enough physical evidence to bring it up, but I can tell you that if you ask around, you'll probably get 5. 3 for sure. 3 for sure. But you could probably get the 5. It is not as uncommon as people would want to believe. Know one of them for sure in the community because he tried with me. You are fine to message that to me, and I will tell you if it's one that I know. If that's up to you, you're not pressured. But having that information helps a lot. I'm gonna do a quick little break. Yeah. If this is triggering to people, take a moment. Understand that even in a community as amazing as the paranormal community, even in a community as amazing as the gaming community, you're going to find it everywhere. And it really sucks. And unless it's brought forward, those people are just going to linger in these areas and they're going to cause more problems over time. Mayo says she knows of 3, the other 2 less sure of. Yep. It's hard to know 100% unless you have that evidence, unless you got that proof. It's really hard to know fully. Some of their actions, some of their statements, some of those things can definitely push the assumption meter, let's say. That is definitely one. That is definitely one. Ended up with a stalker from one of your gaming communities. Police were notified. Yep, I will be talking about the stalking that happens inside of these communities as well. I have that information. I actually have percentages of individuals that were stalked and how many people were caught doing stalking because of online activities. Yeah, it's everywhere. Don't stalk me, that's all I'll say. Yes. Yeah, if this does trigger you, understand you're not alone. I've been through it. My wife's been through it. A lot of people have been through it. Some of us don't even know we've gone through it, right? But you're never alone. You can always reach out to somebody. I will tell you that the majority of people that I associate with, we go out of our way to try to give the safest and most open communities that we can. I say open as in like you want to come in and you want to express that this happened, people will listen. I say if you want to come bring information to me, you need to have a bit of evidence. You got to have something to back up your claim. And if you got stuff to back up your claim, I will fucking display it. I am not afraid. I don't worry about backlash or repercussions. I will display it if I fucking have the information, and I have it. There were others that had it worse. Yep. I've heard. Now, just because I've heard, like I said, I can't say the names openly. But I do know that there are 5 that I've been told, 3 for sure, that have done certain actions that would be very predatory. Like I said, not towards children that I am aware of, but only towards women in the paranormal community that we are all a part of right now. I send boob pics to anyone. Yes, you're definitely one, Jeff. Unsolicited boob pics. I mean, I send unsolicited, Sylvester pics, so no one really asks for them. I just send them from time to time. I have no idea why that just gave me a notification, but okay. Yeah, if you guys want to share this stream, because I just looked at Discord. If you guys want to share this stream on other people's platforms, make sure you ask them first to do that, just because I do know that this type of topic is very bothersome to a lot of people, and they don't want to see it, probably. But you can always ask, and then I'm fine with you sharing it. If you like the content, like always like it. I don't do this type of stuff often. I try to stay away from a lot of the heavy stuff. Tuesdays, yeah, we do some heavy talk every now and again, but this is probably one of the heaviest things I've covered in a number of months, honestly. So you love all the cats, but Sylvester's the best. Yeah. Not a weird 50-year-old white man that we know of. No. Yeah. I'm gonna have myself a little Reese's egg to bring down my stress. Oh, it's white chocolate. No, I don't want that one. No. Yeah, regular chocolate. Yes. A little something to bring down my heart rate here for a minute. This stuff does really get me aggravated and whatever, so. Take a minute to eat a candy and kind of calm down a minute. A lot of stalkers, once they get found out that they're a stalker, a majority of them will actually vanish. Like, they'll just go, oh my God, I got found out, and just fucking poof. I don't mind the white chocolate as much, but it just doesn't, I just don't like it as much. I also have Cheez-Its, so I could have Reese's and Cheez-Its, but snacks always help with hard topics. They do. That's why I try to do breaks. This is a lot of information. Like I said, it's like 29 different screenshots of information, so it's good to have a break and rest a little bit. Yeah. Cal, you mentioned people thought you were a guy for years. There was an individual in a game that Shy played where she was unfortunately groomed in. And the individual actually acted like they were a woman for 5 years in it. And that person got themselves into a voice chat. Everyone found out they were a guy. And that person was how do I describe it? That person had everyone believe they were a woman so heavily that women were actually sending this person like, hey, how do I look good in this top? I think it fits right type of situation, right? Asking for their feedback on the outfits that they were wearing for a full 5 years until that person finally spoke in voice chat. So the reverse happens too. He was preying on them, of course. My wife, Shy, even called that nasty little fuck her wifey. And then when we both heard him speak for the first time, it was like, oh, fuck. She's not played that game since. We totally tossed it out. That was called Cabal Online, a huge Predator place. Keegan Klein did. He poses a 13-year-old girl to approach young girls. It happens a lot more than you want to think. So, you have rum and Coke in your snack bag. I've got Monster at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. I will read her story and explain what I went through towards the end of all this too. So, and then you guys might go, "Oh, I've heard of similar experiences, or I've had similar thoughts," and it's how they operate. It's fucking sickening. Yeah, girls get a lot of attention. I found that out very, very young. No Red Bull. I have Red Bull, but I'm saving them for tomorrow. And this is what Shy had in the car, and it's like 75% of the way full yet. So I was like, I'm not gonna let her waste that. I'll take it. All right. Back to Child Predators. Child Predators, an online game, generally originate from widespread popular multiplayer games with chat functions. Safest way to keep your kids away from this stuff? Games with no chat. Games that do not allow online interaction. Safest way to do it. Particularly those with large, young demographics. While predators can be located anywhere in the world, they gravitate toward games where they can easily pose as peers, build trust through in-game currency or tips, and move conversations to more private, encrypted platforms. Based on reported cases and safety investigations, here is where the majority of predators are found. The list of games is where a large majority of predators going after children can be found, can be seen. And right here at the top is Roblox, which is what Jeff was talking about last night on his stream involving that interview. Like I said, I'm extremely intolerant of creep shittery. Yeah, I don't like creeps. Roblox is frequently cited as a primary target due to the popularity among children ages 5 to 12. Offering vast user-generated and often unmoderated or poorly monitored chat experiences. Almost every single game inside of Roblox, because Roblox is a game creation platform, is made by the players of Roblox. They had a private game in there where all of the actual models for the people became naked. They were in bars. They were in hotel rooms. They were doing dry humping on top of each other on beds, on couches. They were on their knees before other people performing what would look like fellatio or head, oral sex. That is what Roblox did. That's how it got found out. Was because of those actions inside of a player-generated game room on the platform. Again, player-generated room on the platform. Someone made that so other people could go there and have those types of interactions with children models. People in the community have these messed up stories. We got messages with effed up stories after last night. Yes, there's a lot of them, Jeff. Like, it's been going on for decades. Literal decades. Since AOL, man. Back during dial-up. That's when it started to get really, really bad. Online, at least. And then there's been predation before that. Only gotten worse with the changes they made to regulations. Yes, the ESRB regulations, which I discussed way earlier in the stream, have changed greatly since the mid-90s, early 2000s. And because of those changes, because games are no longer M for mature, they're primarily T for teen or E for everyone, it allows predators inside the exact same areas as children. Constantly. Every day. With the stuff coming out of age verification, just like back in the day, you can click saying, yes, I am of age. Here is my birth date. You can type in a fake birth date and you will have access. How do I know? I fucking did it. I was a part of a group that would, when we went to school, in high school, we could get past the school's firewall and we put games on the computers. We got games that allowed you to be President George W. Bush killing infidels in the White House, right? After 9/11 happened. There were games like that. We got them to play in our school on our computers. Children, if they want access to things, they will fucking find access. No matter how good you think you are, there's always going to be someone better out there that can find a way around it. And kids find ways around it. Luckily, I know the passwords for everything in the house and my kid does not. So I can keep him from things. Discord is doing age verification, the uptick of awareness on predators, Roblox using Discord to exploit children. Yes. See, Wolf even remembers doing that in school. Minecraft. Yes, we played Minecraft just last night. Minecraft has actually been, because it allows open interaction and open private communication, which is why I told you all why I stopped my son from having Wi-Fi access for his Minecraft. Because predators are using it as one of their key platforms to find kids. And I didn't know about it when we got him Minecraft, because I didn't know about Minecraft Realms at that time. And so I had to experience it, him going into that and finding someone and me shutting it down. So Minecraft, a very common thing that we just played just last night. Predators use it to find kids. Fortnite. Fortnite is a huge game. It is a battle royale. It does not have regulation work. There are no regulations because it's a huge socially built platform. Fortnite, like Roblox, has maps and game modes that are made by players that can have all the exact same nasty shit. They have dances where you can literally look them up. You have dances where you can be twerking. You have dances where you can be shoving your pelvic area into someone's anus, right? Into their ass. Straight up, it's there. They've done it. There's ones where you can pull a jug out of nowhere, and people have done it, and they're pulling it out of someone's vag, right? They have ones where you're motorboating other people. They have dances in Fortnite that allow you to do that. There's videos online. You can find it all there. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Not just Roblox. It's in games that I play, game I used to play, game I will never play. It's on an app, a platform that I use every day, Discord. It's not a game. It's heavily used by gamers. Predators frequently move victims from in-game chat to Discord for private, unregulated, and anonymous communication. Whenever my kid is around and he sees me talking, let's say Hart, right? Hart and I talk on Discord on a regular basis, probably at least 2 or 3 times a week. We're in a voice chat together. I'm in a voice chat with Cal almost 4 days a week. When one of my kids is around, like my oldest, I could talk back to them. I send him away. I keep him quiet. Even though I trust these people. Because it's for his safety. Even though I trust them, he doesn't need to make a relationship with them. He doesn't need to get to know them. For his own safety. Because that's what a parent should do. A parent should teach their kid, hey, even though I trust these people, you don't have to, and you probably should not trust them yet. Problem is, if that one gets shut down, new ones will pop up immediately. It's not going to get shut down. What they did is they closed that game, specifically that one game mode, and then they brought other stuff around anyways. If you want to see some of the nasty atrociousness they brought around, look up brain rot. Look up Italian brain rot, and you'll see some of the nasty things that people have made. Some of the creatures in there are flopping their tongue back and forth, up and down, to give the indication that you are to somebody. So even though that one game has got shut down, other games get made. Roblox is only one part of a massive problem. It is a very small part. It is a single game with hundreds of games built inside of it. It is a small, small part. World of Warcraft has predators in it. Black Desert Online has predators in it. Guild Wars 2, RuneScape, Secret World Legends. Any game that has an open chat has the potential to have a predator in it, and there likely are predators there, knowing that other kids will be there. Yeah, I keep my kids away. People will hear my little girl and my little boy making their noise. They are too young to understand who people are right now. But they're never on camera. Even when I talk to Hart, even when I talk to Cal, I don't put myself on camera. My camera's off. I'll be on voice chat with my 2 littlest, right? But I'll never be on camera with them for, again, their safety. Just like Seg didn't want to have his face revealed, his name out there, right? For his safety and his family's safety. That is how we keep people safe. That is how we keep ourselves safe. Met a lot of creepy people in Rust. Rust was really bad. Rust, because Rust is an open platform in the realms and stuff like that as well. You can meet a lot of nasty people in that. Actually, a lot of online sports games are the same way. You can meet a lot of nasty people that way, and a lot of kids like sports games because a lot of teenagers are getting into sports and yada yada yada, and that is another place that it happens at. It's ridiculous. Yep, I know. It's got a lot of kids, yes, because Rust is, I think Rust is free to play. Free to play games are actually what's deemed as one of the worst things for kids because you can just download it and go. You don't need a credit card. You don't need anything. You just go. They should not be playing Rust. No. Kids in general probably shouldn't play video games, but I do have a list of safe games for kids. Basically directed by the platforms, right? Like these games are safe for kids because they do not have XYZ attached to them, right? A friend request and gifting. Predators often initiate contact by posing as friendly, age-appropriate players, often using in-game currency or tips to gain trust. Impersonation. They often pose as teenagers to bypass suspicion using AI tools. to create realistic fake personas. They do the platform shifting, which I mentioned, quickly move conversations away from one game to a safer or more private platform like Kik, Skype, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, which I discussed earlier as well. All right, Jeff, you have a great night. Go get some sleep. Get some sleep. Early access. Oh, it does cost early access for Rust? Okay. If it's got a chat window, yeah, if it's got a chat window, it's dangerous. Kik was so bad back in middle school, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, Kik is still around. It's still there. It's a massive danger zone. It really is. The location of risks, and this is what it says right here. High traffic online spaces, any game with unrestricted chat and no strict age verification is considered a high risk area. This is where the parents do have to pay attention, because if a game has these things, they're basically setting up their child for failure. Hello, Leanne. Yeah, it's pretty serious stuff. It's definitely some serious stuff. But it kind of needs to be discussed a little bit. Socially connected games, games with team-based play or voice chat features, Call of Duty, Among Us. Most people wouldn't think Among Us is dangerous, but Among Us is dangerous because it is open chat. You're communicating with people, you're working together, you develop a trust thing. It's dangerous. Heart, go get sleep. I definitely understand. Go get sleep, go get sleep, go get sleep. Good night, good night, good night. Thank you for dropping by. I'm pretty sure I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to close my webcam so you guys can read this. The FBI notes that predators are using these platforms to target children of all ages, with 97% of teenage boys, 83% of teenage girls playing games online, creating a vast virtual playground for these individuals. You can read that one more time. 97% of teenage boys, 83% of teenage girls, by creating a virtual playground. The Maddie Westbrook allegations, yeah. Yep. It is atrocious. Every way, shape, or form. It's atrocious. So I wanted to know the stalking online. Precise total numbers for online stalkers caught worldwide or nationally over the last 5 years. I wanted from 2021 to now. It's not available, because cyber stalking is a vast, underreported, and often under-investigated crime. I think we understand a certain situation that has been under-investigated, right? That a lot of us had to deal with about 6 to 8 months ago. However, statistics indicate a high prevalence, with one report estimating up to 7.5 million people in the U.S. experience cyber stalking annually. 7.5 million people in the U.S. experience cyber stalking annually, year after year. This is prosecution of online stalkers from 2021 to 2026. Good night, Wolf. Good night, good night, good night. Get some sleep. I appreciate you visiting. I appreciate you hanging around and dealing with this stuff. Federal prosecution in the U.S. between 2010 and 2020, there were 412 federal cyberstalking cases filed with a 90% conviction rate. While the specific data set ends in 2020, reports indicate that federal cases reached a peak of 80 in 2019, which would make sense because that was during COVID. So that would make a lot of sense, that the cyber stalking at that point in time was at its peak. There's low reporting rates. A major factor in the low number of caught stalkers is that only 29% of stalking victims report the crime to the police. A lot of the times they barely report the crime because there's, as you will experience down this way, they can't do much. A lot of the times they can't. There's a high conviction rate if it's ever brought up, but going around to obtain all the evidence of said stalking is difficult. Increase in technology stalking. Roughly 80% of all stalking cases now involve some form of technology, which is the cyber stalking according to the 2022 report. 80% of all stalking is now cyber stalking. So I don't have to worry about Jesse being outside my window. I got to worry about, Jesse stalking my socials, right? Looking for any posting, right? It's a joke. Jesse doesn't actually stalk me. It's just a running gag that she's going to pop up out my window one day. We can still joke in here even though it's a sensitive topic. We can. It is okay, all right? It is okay to do so. The rise in online abuse. A 2026 survey found that 27% of American women experienced online harassment, a 4-point increase from the previous year, highlighting the growing volume of potential cases. And I'll cover my webcam here for this. The challenges and apprehension. This is the issue that we have. Law enforcement agencies often lack the resources or training to investigate digital crimes, and it is difficult to link online harassment to a physical person. This right here is what I've tried to explain to a lot of people over the last several months. This right here. And there are some locations that are just not going to be fucking good at doing their damn job. Yes, Jesse, you and Raven are always crawling out of that basement trying to escape. So it's not that they can't investigate these things. It's just it's extremely difficult to do so. And the number of people that actually report these things is very low. Cyber stalking happens on the games. Once people find out you are a woman, you are usually cyber stalked in one way, shape, form, or another. You have people that will reach out to you in various forms and aspects. UK has better cyber stalking laws. UK is also a lot smaller. It's a lot easier. Like, you can drive 3 hours in an entire new fucking country. I'm not escaping. I'm chilling with the spiders and Jesse. Every time I go down to my basement, I'm walking around like the fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame down there with like a big old thing over my head going like this, trying to deal with the lights and everything else. It's not made for tall people. It's not. I will hit my head if I stand straight. It's a very small space. So you guys can have it. It's fine. I want to continue this to find more of these crimes, not just about at women, but also about children as well, because it's all wrapped together. The predation online, right? Based on recent data from law enforcement initiatives, thousands of online child predators have been arrested in the United States over the last 5 years. Thousands of them, with efforts intensifying due to a surge in online grooming and exploitation. 2024, the Internet Crimes Against Children, the ICAC Task Force program, conducted approximately 203,000 investigations in 2024, leading to the arrest of more than 12,000 offenders. Look at that difference in numbers there. 200,000, and we got 12,000 arrested. This number down here should be way, way bigger. But now you see the actual difficulty that comes into play, right? There are a shit ton of reports, a shit ton of investigations that actually do happen across the nation. And a very, very small number of people actually suffer punishment. That's why a lot of this stuff goes on for so long, for weeks, for days, weeks, months, years, into decades. because it is very difficult to finally close the book on somebody. 2025 FBI operations. As of May 2025, Operation Restore Justice resulted in the arrest of 205 child sex abuse offenders in a 5-day crackdown, with another 234 arrested in Operation Enduring Justice around the same time. 2021, federal agencies made over 3,000 arrests for online child exploitation in 2021. Just because they arrested 3,000 people does not mean 3,000 people were actually proven to be offenders. That just means 3,000 people were picked up for the offense. That does not mean they were incarcerated in jail. Does not mean they've been considered felons. It does not mean they have, have to be on the registry, right? And this is from the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency. Yes, in 5 days, 439 total in 5 days. But that's only the arresting. That's only arrests. Does not mean convictions. Only arrests. Only arrests. Does not mean convictions. This is only arrests, not convictions. But if there was 200 some odd thousand investigations, there should be way more arrests. The rise in reports of online enticement in child have been skyrocketing, with the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, which we mentioned earlier, from 500,000 in 2013 to nearly 30 million by 2021. So in an 8-year period, it went from 500,000 to that date to over 30 million by 2021. And we now know from the research that we have had over 500,000 in 2024. So the reports of grooming, enticement, everything is just going up. It's going to continue to go up, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about it. The sextortion surge have spiked at 13,000 for the first 6 months of 2024 to 23,000 in the same period in 2025. And the last one here is about AI. AI exploitation. Reports involving generative AI to create child sexual abuse material, or CSAM, increased by over 1,300% in 2024. Yay on monitored AI systems. It's amazing. It's not amazing. It's fucking terrifying. It's torturous. But this is what's going on in our world that a lot of people don't want to fucking talk about, because if you talk about this stuff, you are demonetized. Almost instantaneously demonetized. A lot of this information people don't want to discuss ever, because it is very triggering. We've had people that didn't and couldn't stick around because it is very bothersome. It brings up a lot of trauma, and people don't want to harm other people. But at the same time, this stuff should actually get out there, and it should be talked about at least a little bit more. It's not just a single game. It's not just a single company. It's not just a single community. It's everywhere. It is so crazily rampant. It sounds like there needs to be more cyberstalking, cybercrime units that work together in the U.S. If only that were possible. Right now, it is not. It is not possible right now. Oh, we'll do a quick little breather. The next section is how to protect yourself, how to protect your friends, your family, your children, so on and so forth. It's going to have numbers. It's going to have websites you can visit, where it's up here like law enforcement support if someone has suffered predation online. This will be something someone can screenshot. They can keep it. They can share it, because it does matter, right? I do apologize yet again that this is so heavy material. I am fairly certain a lot of people won't be watching this and they'll be like, oh, you're just getting this stuff online. Yeah, I'm getting it online, but I'm putting the sources that I'm getting it from as well. You can look it up yourself. It is very easy to search on Google how to protect yourself, and it's going to come up with the same shit. Okay. Give 1 inch and they take all inches. Yes. Give 1 inch and they will take more miles than you ever expected. God damn it, another white chocolate. Another white chocolate. Another white chocolate. Motherfucker. There we go. I didn't want any more fucking white chocolate. Too many white chocolates. I suppose I can actually discuss the experience I had, right? I wasn't groomed online. A friend of mine, we sat in my grandparents' place in her dining room, my grandmother's dining room, on the computer, and we were playing RuneScape. And we tried to make a character that looked very feminine, right? For shits and giggles, trying it out to see if there was anything different about it. And this was our, second or third time playing RuneScape. We never got really far. We basically just stayed in the starting castle. We made a very feminine character, right? Long hair and stuff like that. And within minutes, we were surrounded by people asking us our name, our age, trying to give us gold inside that game, like thousands of pieces worth of gold, trying to give us early starting cooking material so we could raise our cooking skill up, along with a bunch of other things, right? This was back in 2004, 2005, right? So this was ages ago. This was going on. Goonscape. I loved RuneScape, but I didn't love this experience. If I remember, I think we did it because my cousin, she was making a feminine character, and she said she felt uncomfortable, and we didn't understand why, and I think that's why we did it. Because it was me and him sitting side by side at the computer playing in the dining room, and the dining room was out in the open. Like, my grandparents could have walked by and seen anything we were doing on screen. And we were surrounded within minutes, probably by 8 to 10 different people, if I remember. In the starting zone of RuneScape, there's usually a lot of high-level people there to help new players out. At least back in the day, it's changed a wee bit since then with all the updates and whatever. And Mayo, I'm sorry. If there's anything like special you want to send, just send it over Discord and I'll look at it if it's something. And I'll just relay it if you want me to. I don't know why YouTube does that. But the experience was that if you were even appearing feminine in those games, you were targeted almost instantaneously. And you were love bombed. You were given gifts, crazy gifts, right from the get-go. I do know that when one of my exes and I started doing WoW in around 2005, 2006 probably, she was running alongside me, and I went to go somewhere in Ironforge, and she was left at the auction house, between the auction house and the bank, and she was just sitting on the bridge doing her dance or whatever for the dwarves as a female, and she was being bombarded by people very quickly, very rapidly as well, trying to do trades with her, give her, equipment that was her level, trying to give her some extra silver, some extra gold, and the whole 9 yards. Those were odd experiences that I had, but I didn't have they are predatory, but they weren't predatory towards me. They were predatory towards a female character in a video game. And I understand that some people are going to make female characters look a particular way to obtain that exact type of attention, but okay, Mayo sent me the message. It says it was about the AI content. The people who argue that it's not as bad because it's fake deserve a solid bitch slap. That's still a child. Exactly. If someone's using a picture of a child and taking their clothes off, it doesn't fucking matter. It's still disgusting. Doesn't fucking matter. That's just disgusting. However, I have had people, as I've stated before, send me unsolicited stuff that I really wasn't asking for and wasn't wanting in a predatory-like manner, trying to get me to give them affirmation and compliments and the like to make them feel better about their situation, whatever it being. Like with the one person who asked me if I had ever seen or what my thoughts were on pierced nipples, right? And then sending me an image of her with one of her nipples pierced but not the other, asking my opinion on it. It wasn't asked for, it wasn't warranted. I wasn't very much appreciative of that. And that individual and I stopped talking completely. And they got a little pissy and left the Discord. That's a different person, but yeah. I've had people in MMOs try to ERP with me in private messages, block and report and screenshot. Yeah, there's a lot of MMOs always seem to be like the worst when people are trying to reach out to you and do those unsavory things. Very much so. But like I said, we're going to talk over like some things to help protect you, help protect kids, and some things that I think people need to understand to stick with the changing technology and the current uptick in reports and other atrocities going on. Too many things to keep track of. Yes, it's insane. Way too many to keep track of. I'm going to remove my camera here. So, protection strategies, open communication, talk to children about the risks of online strangers and that not everything online is true. I have been discussing with my oldest boy that not everything he sees on YouTube is accurate, that a lot of it is AI generated. It does not, it's not true. It's it's all fabricated, right? Privacy settings, ensure all apps, games, and social media accounts are set to private. I have a lot of my stuff privated personally. Shy has a great deal of her stuff privated. Anything that my oldest is involved with is basically privated as well, to where he can only play online with me or his mother for his own safety, or someone that we believe will be completely fine for him because we've known said person for years or what have you. No one has to go down that road because there are a lot of people you've known for years that might still be a predator, right? You have to make the judgment on that yourself. Monitor the activity. Keep devices in common areas, not in bedrooms, and periodically check messages. He is not allowed to basically take it to his room. And if he does, he has a camera on him so I can keep track of where he is, what he's doing. The camera records his voice, so if he tends to talk when he's reading. So if he's reading a message that somehow popped up there when he doesn't have Wi-Fi access, right, I would know about it instantly. Disable location services. I don't use location services for my own personal belief. They're tracking me anyways, but I still turn off location services for social media apps and other things when Google asks me if they can track me, and I say no. Report incidents. If you suspect a child is being targeted, contact local police. The FBI at tips.fbi.gov or the NCMEC at 1-800-THE-LOST, which is 1-800-843-5678. These are things that we can do here in the U.S. The fuck was that? I think Ruger was just howling in his sleep. That was weird. But yes, this is stuff we can do here in the U.S. If you have other things in your, locations or whatever, make sure you look into them to figure out who you can contact and for what. Adults and teens, set your Venmo, Cash App to whatever, private or anything else. Yes. Venmo, Cash App, Snapchat, all of it should technically be privated. Your Instagram should, your Facebook should, except for you and family, as long as you have a good relationship with your family. More strategies for open online safety. Foster open care. Yep. Open communication. Talk to them when it's doing stuff online. Encourage them to tell you if a conversation feels weird, scary, or inappropriate. Must be having a dream about the moon. Must be. Or howling at the neighbor. Establish strict privacy rules. Keep personal information private. Instruct your children to never share their name, address, school, or phone number. When my oldest was younger, he would actually say his full name. And then he would say his mother's full name and my full name. And we informed him, no, you can use our first names. You use your first name. That's as far as it needs to go. No one else needs to know anything about you. You don't give your phone number. You don't give your address. No one needs to know anything but your name. Just your first name. Nothing else. No strangers. Only connect with people they know in real life. This is still one of those things where you, as a parent of a child, have to be very careful, because usually children are preyed upon more often than not by someone that they actually know. It's usually not someone that is a stranger. It's usually someone they know. So you have to be very careful as a parent on who you allow around your kids. Shy and I are very, very careful about who actually gets to be around ours. My father is basically the it, right? If I'm not around there, they're usually not there. And same with visiting my grandparents. I have to be there. The kids are never left alone. So, don't even like what my friend says, my first time in a crowded room. I had that happen when I was back in college, and I gave the most dirty look in the fucking world. And that person didn't speak to me for like 3 days afterwards, because I do not like being called out when I'm in public either. I already mentioned disable location services. Should always be done. Parental controls. Almost everything has parental controls. Fucking use them. Activate controls. Use built-in parental control on devices, gaming consoles, and apps to filter, limit screen time, and monitor activity. These are things that parents should be doing anyways, and if they're not, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. When I was a kid, we weren't governed as much because this stuff wasn't around. We didn't really have much internet access. You had dial-up, and you couldn't use dial-up if someone was using the telephone, or you couldn't use dial-up because it wasn't during peak hours, or whatever. You'd be outside majority of the time. You'd play single-player games. There was no real online interaction. Now it's everywhere. So some parents don't care. Others should really monitor their kids. I monitor what the phone or the tablet has access to. I've downloaded like PBS games. They can be played online, offline. Videos from PBS, full length videos can be online, offline, and it's only going to provide good educational stuff for your child. That's what I do. I like PBS. I support PBS. Public Broadcasting Service? Yes. Hell yes. They provide a whole bunch of inclusivity all the way around. My son is actually learning how to do some Spanish because PBS offers various things and programs that are have Spanish speaking in it. I do speak a fair bit of Spanish myself, so it is good to have that. Monitor what your kids do. It's a very big thing. It is not always on the parents to do it, but parents should actually play some fucking role in what their kids are observing. Cover webcams. Keep webcams covered when not in use. Haha. You want to see how easy this is? My webcam has something built in. You literally just turn it down. And then you want it back on, you turn it up. That's all you do. That's it. If you have a laptop, you can put a piece of tape over it. You can put a sticky note on it. You can do whatever, right? You got a phone? Well, you can get children's phones that don't have cameras. That's what I do. They're out there. You can find them. Or you can, try to get your kids to read books, write, draw, play outside. It's crazy, but it still works. The flip switch is an amazing invention. Exactly. Yeah, most webcams have a privacy thing built into them. Mine does. I just turn it down. The red flags. Educate on red flags for your children. It's not just children. It's also anyone that feels like they're being preyed upon, right? Teach children that predators may use fake profiles. We've had this happen many times. That's why we fucking investigate. They may offer gifts, as we mentioned before, or ask them to keep secrets. Don't do that. Monitor for signs of abuse. Watch for changes in behavior such as withdrawal, anxiety, depression, or sudden secretiveness regarding devices. If I hand this to one of my kids, right, my oldest, 8 years old, and my oldest won't give this back to me, I'm taking it by force because I'm not letting him keep it, number one. I'm going through the entire thing to find out what he doesn't want me to find, and then I'm ensuring he never gets it back. Because that's what you're fucking supposed to do as a parent. If your child takes one of these, or takes a tablet and won't give it back to you, you turn off your fucking Wi-Fi, and you take that fucking thing from that kid. If that kid throws a fucking fit, let them throw their fit, or you smack them on the ass. Because your passive parenting is not helping that child develop. It is allowing that child to become a fucking terror later on in life. I ask for this from all three of my kids, from a 2-year-old to an 8-year-old. They give it back to me almost immediately. It is not hard to say, hey, can I have my phone back now? And I get it back. And I tell them, hey, all right, we're done with it right now. You're not getting it back anymore today. It's not that fucking hard. It's really not. I don't care who you are. It's not that fucking hard. Be a goddamn parent. You're their parent, not their friend. This is where a parent should be parent. If they are threatened by anybody, if your child is threatened or contacted inappropriately, do not delete the evidence. Take screenshots of the messages, report the user to the social media platform, and contact local law enforcement or the National Center for Missing Children or Missing and Exploited Children. And like I said, if you're in a different part of the world, whoever your local enforcement agency is or group that deals with cyber harassment, stalking, crimes, whatever, contact them because I don't have all that information. Okay. Brief break. The next section is what's going to bother a lot of people. The next section is what happens if you do not take control of the situation. These are actual things that have happened. This is actual statistics. There will be actual cases. If your children, if you are someone that's been preyed upon, right, and you don't take the steps to protect yourself or inform somebody, what I'm going to be discussing is what has actually happened to a various number of people, primarily around the nation of the U.S. The worst case scenarios. It does have some of the worst case scenarios, yes. And some of these are 100% true. It's not fun. Ultimately, very worst case scenario, someone loses their life. That is the ultimate worst case scenario. Someone loses their life. Whether it is through doing it themselves or an outside factor, someone else doing it to them. That is the ultimate worst case scenario. Has it happened? Yes. Yes, it has. It's happened way more than I want to admit. A step down from that worst case, we have kidnappings for children. We have physical assaults for women. We have destruction of property. We have destruction of safety, destruction of self, destruction of a person's overall well-being. This is the part that should really have the actual trigger warning on it. Because these are things that did happen to people. They're actual stories. There are actual court cases. One of them is literally from last month. And Sylvester's licking his toe beans. At least he makes it a little lighter. Yeah. For all of you that have stayed with this entire thing, I thank you very much for doing so. I know it's a very heavy topic. I know this is a lot of information, a lot of stuff to digest. Some of you may go back and rewatch it to pick up some of these numbers to show other people. You may screenshot various parts of this. If you want to send this to other people that you know who may be looking for this type of information, who just don't know about it, fucking do it. Send it. Put it wherever you want to. If you know other people that you would like to talk about it and you think that they would want to react to it, tell them I'm fine by it. Tell them they can react to it. I don't care. I'm not going to copyright anybody for using this stuff. This is all information that can be easily found. It's nothing special. Okay. And if they want to use my story of, making a female character and being bombarded by people, being love bombed by them instantaneously to give more credence that women are basically attacked, cyberly attacked all the fucking time in these games, go for it. Shy has given permission as well for her story. If people want to use that as a direct thing, they are fine to do so as well. Goddamn fucking tick bite. Yeah, it's only the 10th day of March and I already got a freaking tick bite. Found a regular milk chocolate one. Had myself a little candy for being a good boy and discussing a hard topic and not having fun tonight. Got one just today. I was talking to the dude that gives me a lift about how to explain things to kids with disabilities such as autism and learning issues. Sometimes they have to be shown the situation. I know that for a time, our school district would have a presentation once or twice a year where they kind of showed the possibilities of what could happen, right? You want to go outside? Sylvester wants out. So, other times it's, everyone's a little different in how they take information. I like evidence. I like statistics. I like stats. I like numbers. But I also have the ability to make a lot of rational and logical decisions and assumptions based on the information and stuff provided to me. It's a hard topic, but it needs to be addressed and discussed with everyone. It really should be. Especially since things are only going to get worse with the lack of regulation over video games, the lack of regulation over AIs. Like, it was only a few years ago, about 5 years ago, that regulation actually came out for, or that regulation started, I should say, for microtransactions. The predatory gambling microtransactions. Because that was a very new thing. I just lost my voice. There we go. As a parent, you can't ignore or hide from the issue. No. You can't. They're everywhere. It's like I told you guys before, a gym teacher, right, was a pedophile at my school. And he was around kids for a number of years. And unfortunately, one of his victims, unfortunately, did take their life years after he had been caught and just couldn't deal with the knowledge of it anymore. So they're out there. They're everywhere. It's not just communities. It's not just games. It's literally everywhere. Is that a white Monster bottle? It is a white Monster bottle. I know I'm usually drinking Red Bull. I know I've been called out already for it. It is. It's the one with a little cap on it and stuff. Sure, I had it in the car, and it was like 3/4 of the way full, and I just couldn't leave it out there. So I took it. I actually had a Red Bull before I started drinking this. This is my my third energy drink of the day. And I still feel like I need a nap. Caffeine just doesn't hit well enough. We don't have those here. That's good. Your craziness is enough. Beagle with a monster sounds weird. I know. To be fair, this is the only monster I actually like, is the Zero Ultra. It is the only one I really actually like. But I have more Red Bulls in the fridge. Because that is my all-time fave. The caffeine doesn't do anything for me. Even if I drink them in the morning, drink them at night. Same with coffee. Same with French press. It hasn't. For years, it hasn't done anything for me. I even used to take the caffeine tablets, and those were bad. I drink them sometimes. We don't have them as bottles. Yeah. This is a 24 ounce. And it's got a nice little metal cap that goes on it. Yeah. So you can cover it up and nothing can get inside of it. It's amazing. Okay. Are you guys ready for the harsh truth of what can actually happen if you don't try to protect yourself and no one talks about this stuff? Yeah. Okay. Let's get to it. Classmates was busted for CBP. I shortened this in case YouTube throws a shit fit, right? But the B is standing for bondage. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's I'll be talking about that in a little bit too. All right, here we go, guys. Let's do it. Unfortunately, yes. All right. Again, big trigger warning right here, okay? This is some actual things that did happen, actual numbers, and stories. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in a fair bit here. I'm also going to hide my webcam. While there is no single exact number for children kidnapped specifically via online games, data indicates that tens of thousands of children are enticed online annually, with gaming platforms being a primary venue for grooming. Online enticement surge of 2024 to 2025, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported an alarming rise in online enticement, with reports increasing from almost 300,000 from the first half of 2024 to over 500,000 in the first half of 2025, which is exactly what we discussed earlier. 2024 analysis, 476 cases between 2020 and 2023 found that 1/3 of children who were lured out of their homes were initially contacted through online gaming platforms. 33%. 33% of children from 2020 to 2023, out of these cases, 1/3 were lured out through online gaming platforms. This is how devastating it actually is. Kidnapping and trafficking risk in 2024, the missing children's thing assisted in almost 30,000 missing children's cases, with roughly 1 in 7 of these cases potentially involving child sex trafficking, a risk that often begins with online grooming. Specific game risks, platforms like Roblox, which reported over 13,000 incidents in 2023, and Discord are heavily targeted by predators, often leading to in-person meetings. They do want to meet in person a lot, and I have some reports about how far people will go to make that happen. Global targeting. Kaspersky? I think it's Kaspersky. Report found that in the first half of 2024, more than 132,000 unique users were targeted by cyber criminals using popular children's games as a lure. Again, the first half of 2024. The rise in these instances is attributed to grooming, where predators pose as peers, build trust over days or weeks, and then orchestrate an in-person meeting or abduction. Thanks for that, Tay. That percentage is higher than the rate of victims reporting. Correct. Roman. The percentage out of just this case is 1/3, 33% of children who were lured out of their homes is a higher percentage. This 1 in 7 is a higher percentage of potentially child sex trafficking. It is honestly insane. Honestly insane. Here's an actual report. What happened in the Florida Roblox kidnapping case? According to public reports and statements from the Martin County Sheriff's Office, here's what is known so far. 2 sisters, ages 12 and 15, were reported missing from Indiantown, Florida on January 31st. Investigators learned the older sister had been messaging someone she knew as Jin, first on Roblox and later on Snapchat. A 19-year-old man from Nebraska reportedly began communicating with the girls mid-2025 on Roblox. Then he moved the conversation to Snapchat. Authorities believe he left Omaha, Nebraska on January 30th, drove straight to Florida, and picked up the girls the evening of January 31st. The Georgia Highway Patrol later located his vehicle and found the girls inside. They were safely recovered. Yes, this is an actual kidnapping case. February 10th, 2026 is when this was actually reported and put into the circulation of information. Recent case of 2 Florida sisters ages 12 to 15 were picked up by a 19-year-old man. They met on Roblox and Snapchat and is every parent's nightmare. The stark warning about the real-world dangers tied to online gaming platforms. Law enforcement believe the man drove roughly 1,500 miles from Nebraska to Indiantown, Florida after months of online communication before he was stopped in Georgia. He wasn't even in Florida anymore. He was in Georgia when he got picked up. He was 1 state over from where he kidnapped them. Authorities say they prevented something disastrous, but not every story ends this way, which is an accurate statement. They do not end that way. At the same time, Florida's Attorney General has sued Roblox, calling the platform a hunting ground for predators and accusing the company of deceiving parents about how safe Roblox actually is for children. Together, the kidnapping case and the lawsuit raise critical questions about online grooming, platform responsibility, and what families can do now. Kyle, I remember this. I was really dumbfounded. I'm just glad the girls were unharmed. Yes. Bro out here kidnapping children instead of getting a job or going to school. Not just kidnapping, but driving 1,500 miles to do it. A 19-year-old driving to pick up a 12 and 15-year-old. Not just one child, but two. The insanity. Here's another one. From August 14th, 2025. A child's alleged Roblox kidnapping sparks lawsuit as California laws to protect kids online are stalled. At least 2 California laws designed to protect kids online are not working. In fact, they're not even being used. CBS News California examined why and how a recent alleged kidnapping involved popular gaming platform Roblox might have been avoided if the laws were working the way they were supposed to. The story begins and ends at the California state capitol, but it impacts kids nationwide. 10-year-old Southern California girl was allegedly kidnapped by a man she met on Roblox, particularly about popular among preteens. Police found her hundreds of miles away at a strip mall near the man's home in the city of Elk Grove, just south of Sacramento. This week, the girl's family filed a lawsuit in the San Francisco Bay Area where Roblox is located. The lawsuit also names Discord a third-party messaging app where the man is accused of communicating with the girl. This one wasn't that long ago, and the other one was in February. This is off Roblox, the exact game that Jeff was discussing in his video, in his live stream just yesterday. And as you see down here, it involves Snapchat as well and involved Discord as well. And Discord is something that a lot of us use. A lot of us use Snapchat. This is full-on evidence and full proof that, yes, they are using these platforms. They are doing this stuff. This is what happens when parents are not involved and when the gaming companies are not doing enough to protect people. Data from 2025 to 2026 indicates that digital violence against women is a widespread epidemic, with 38% to 58% of women globally experiencing online abuse. Of this, a significant and growing portion escalates into physical, real-world assault. This is the other part that isn't discussed as much. These are actual statistics. 1 in 5, 20%, 1 in 5 women respondents in a global survey reported being attacked or abused offline due to incidents seeded online. So kids are being kidnapped, kids are being assaulted, kids are being sex trafficked, and the women who are doing this stuff, who get attacked online, then tend to be abused offline, physically. 42% of women journalists surveyed in 2025 reported that online attacks translated into offline abuse, including physical threats and assault, more than doubling from 20% in 2020. 1 in 8 American women reported fearing for their physical safety as a result of online harassment, according to the March 2026 report. Guess what month we're in, guys? We're in the fucking month of March in 2026. This is extremely recent. 4% of women in 2026, just this year, study experienced physical abuse as a direct result of having their personal data exposed online. So if there was 100 women, 4 of them were actually physically abused because they were doxxed online. And we're only in March. 3 months into the new year. 4% have been physically assaulted because of personal data exposure. 99% of victims targeted by AI-powered deepfake pornographic images are women, which often leads to stalking, blackmail, and physical danger. 1% of victims targeted by AI pornographic images are men and or children. 99% of them are women. This is something that needs to be regulated, and it is not. This is from 6 different sources to get that statistic. It is sickening. It really is. So when people cover, right, that predation is a thing, it is. It's a huge thing, but it's not just children. These are actual statistics, some of them from the last 3 fucking months of the year that we're currently in, 2026, right, of women, adult women, being assaulted because of online stuff. And it goes on. Young women, 58% of girls and young women have experienced online harassment. Public figures, 73% of women journalists and 1 in 3 women parliamentarians experience online violence. These are people that are, working for news outlets, working for various political things. These are actual people in our parliament, in our politics, right? These are our senators, our congresswomen, our mayors, our county board representatives. 73% of women journalists and 33% of political female figures experience online violence. The LGBTQIA, 55% of them, of the LGBTQ plus women, report experiencing online abuse, double the rate of the general population. The online-offline link. The distinction between online and offline violence is dissolving. Digital abuse, including doxing, publishing private information, cyberstalking, and AI-generated non-consensual images, frequently leads to real-world threats, harassment, and assault. Correct. This is not a new thing, Mile. It's not a new thing, and it's only going to get worse, unfortunately. That is my view, unless something is done. And right now, currently in our nation, with everything going on, it's not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Okay. What to do if you or a child are in immediate danger from an online predator? Call 911 in the U.S. or Canada, or your local emergency services immediately. For international 24/7 reporting of online predators and child sexual exploitation, the following numbers and agencies are available. You guys are free right now to take this screenshot, and you can share that with whoever you believe needs to know about it. You can call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the NCMEC, at 1-800-THE-LOST. You can do an ICE tip line, Homeland Security investigations. They do take care of child trafficking cases, right? 166-347-2423. International ICE tip line is also accessible. The FBI General Tips, call 1-800-CALL-FBI. No to Protect tip line, 1-800-33-591. No, as in I know something, not no, don't do that. It is I know something. Federal Bureau of Investigations government plus 9 other sources. Specialized sources. The online cyber tip line at www.cybertipline.org for reporting exploitation, images, or grooming. The National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. I would suggest not having that many 8s in there anymore, but that is them. takeitdown.ncmec.org to help remove or stop the sharing of nude/explicit images of minors. So there are places you can go, there are things you can do, there are people you can contact to actually help various individuals. Specifically, children is right here. There is a list of numbers and stuff for women involving cyber crimes as well, and you can always contact your local law enforcement, which I highly suggest always doing, is contacting your local law enforcement to make sure that at least something is written down somewhere to start. More things you can do to help. Steps to take. Stop communication. Do not communicate or do not continue talking to the predator once you have discovered they are one. Save all evidence. Immediately take screenshots of profiles, messages, and photos before they are deleted. If you feel like something is weird, do this immediately. Do not wait, because they can be deleted, especially through Discord. People delete messages on Discord all the time. Take this seriously. Report to the platform. Use the report or block feature on the app, game, or social media platform. That'll make it so they can't contact you, at least not through that account. Report to your local law enforcement. Contact, whoever you have. For us, it's, the children's thing, the FBI, even if the incident occurred outside the U.S., as they work with international partners. Interpol. If you are outside the U.S., you can find local in-country hotlines through the In Hope Network. So for those of you that watch this over in the UK and beyond, the In Hope Network should be able to give you resources to assist you and assist children and assist other people as well. Now, I told you I'd have a list of games. Here are some games. Top offline game recommendations by platform. Nintendo Switch, best for ages 7 to 15. The action/adventure Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 8 can be taken offline. It does not have to be online. Super Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Pokemon Let's Go, Sword and Shield, and any other Pokemon game as well. Kirby, Spyro the Dragon. These are all great games for children to play. They challenge them. The hand-eye coordination, they give them puzzles to solve, and they do not have to be online. Creative puzzles. Minecraft is on here, but Minecraft, like I've stated before, take it offline. Lego games are always amazing. There are tons of Legos games. There are literally like dozens and dozens of Lego games. Rayman, that's questionable, in my opinion. Mobile, Android stuff, iOS, best for ages 5 through 12. Creative and Learning, Toca Boca, no idea what that is, but it might be good. Tiny Bop, The Human Body, Bejeweled, Cut the Rope, Subway Surfer. Subway Surfer I don't care for myself, but that's just my own thing. Right here, look at this. Educational, PBS Kids Games. Holy shit, it works without Wi-Fi. You should really get this for fucking kids, because it's good. It's very, very fucking good. It's great. There are hundreds of games for PBS Kids. Hundreds of games. Works without Wi-Fi. You download the game, and you can play it. It is very good. You can even get actual TV shows. Console, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Lego games, because there are dozens of them. Stardew Valley, it's a relaxed farming sim. There are tons of things like Stardew Valley out there. There's Stardew Valley. There is My Time at Portia. There's My Time at Sandrock. There is a crap ton of games that are just like this, that are nice, relaxing farming sims. And Sonic Mania, I'm not sure on that one. I'd say any Sonic game might be fine, but I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, you can find games for any type of thing. Just make sure when you're in the search bar looking for games, it is games that do not require online connection. Those are the ones you want to go for, or you want to buy the physical game itself. The games may require to be online initially, but after that, you can remove yourself from the online connection. So it's great for kids that way. Crash, like Crash Bandicoot, yes. That'll probably warp some kids, though, in the end. Tips for offline gaming. Download first. Ensure apps are downloaded and updated while connected to Wi-Fi, as many require the first time setup. What I was just stating. Toggle no Wi-Fi mode. Games like Subway Surfer and Candy Crush work perfectly offline once they're loaded in. Avoid live service games. What's a live service game, Beagle? Fortnite, Roblox, Apex Legends. Those are live service games. They are basically free to play, continuously ongoing, because they have an outside monetization system. Those are live service games. Children, anyone actually under the age of 18 should not be on them, because they usually, almost all the fucking time, have microtransactions, which is technically a form of gambling. In my humble personal fucking opinion, as a grown-ass adult who's been playing games my entire fucking life, no child should be gambling. At all. I don't even like doing it. They shouldn't be able to do it. That is my humble fucking thought on the matter. Yeah. So that is everything that I looked up for just this stuff. Right? Just for this particular stream, I went through and I found all that type of stuff to give more information out to the world. That it's not just one game, it's not just one community, it's not just the parents' fault, it's none of that stuff. It is a huge amalgamation, and it doesn't just cover children, it covers everybody. The primary targets are women and children. Okay? Math is cool. I like math. Yes, math is cool. Now, this might be the part that a lot of people have been waiting for. This is Shy's actual story. She wrote it kind of like a journal entry, so it might be a little all over the place, but it does cover a lot. The fuck just moved over there? Fucking goddamn ghost, get out of here. Okay. So this happened to Shy back in 2008, 2009. She was around 16 years old. This is kind of when she started her online gaming. And she started it in something called Cabal. You guys can still find Cabal online. It is a Korean game, if I remember. It is a massive multiplayer online RPG. I have played it with her shortly after we got together. It's not super great, but it's pretty as well as far as it gets. She was a very small town girl, and she's a bit bigger, as you guys know. And she was basically considered to be undateable when she was around this age. This is what she writes. As a teenage girl, this sucked, being undateable and bigger. So Cabal was my playground. I felt a sense of power, knowing just because you have boobs and play this game, it must mean you're some kind of goddess, I guess. So I amassed a group of friends. Ventrilo was a voice chat program, and it's how we chatted back and forth. So through our alliance, or our guild, I was invited to a Ventrilo server. There I met a fairly big 10-ish guy group. I was 16 years old in a group of guys, all 20 plus years of age and older. I was called bait. I was called bait so much so that that's what I was actually nicknamed from the majority of them. Bait. Hell, I even had a man and his wife wanting to make me a collar, a dog collar. I was 16. I had a 30-year-old man wanting to make me join his little online harem of underage girls. Spoiler alert, he got busted for child pornography. There was a super sweet and cool guy. We fell asleep on camera together a few nights. Again, I was 16. He was 21 plus. I had a 20-plus-year-old man highly encourage that I look at his dick while we were on a video call. I looked. Again, I was 16. He was 20-plus years old. I was introduced to Teen Chat World and Stick AM, a place where you video chat in bigger groups. I was a regular, obviously seeking human interaction to feel pretty, and only a few times were the boys my age. Some of that I will not read. After she got out of Cabal, and she came to Wisconsin before I met her. Her ex had a friend. His name is Jake. Jake love bombed her constantly for a long time. And he got her drunk. She was not of age quite yet to get drunk, I don't believe. And he sexually assaulted her. He was completely stone cold sober when he did this. Now, the only reason she even came to Wisconsin from Montana was because of someone she met online. Through Cabal, that exact game where she had all those lovely experiences with other men when she was a teenager. And then that individual allowed his quote-unquote best friend to do that, and there was no repercussion. She was the one that ultimately was blamed. Yeah, some of those things I won't read out loud. So for those individuals that believe they are a one-off, that no one would ever understand, no, it's everywhere. Nope. Nothing ever happened to Jake, unfortunately. I have never been told his last name. I know approximately where he lives. And I cannot say on camera what would happen if I ever met the man. It's one of those situations where I cannot physically say what would happen if I ever met him. So, this stuff is, it is honestly everywhere, and it really should be addressed more frequently. And people really should know that they are not alone, that there are others out there who have experienced the same things, sometimes experienced worse. He is very lucky he has not met me. There are other people who have done things to her that are very lucky they have not met me. And I say that because I know what I would do. I do know what I would do. Correct. It was not her fault because he was stone cold sober. And just like some of the other individuals that have been love bombed or preyed on in the paranormal community, it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they became prey. Right. Well, like I said, this was all stuff that happened before I met her. I just know that they are here. And it was all because of online stuff. So it's important to understand that these stories are extremely unpleasant, but they're not one-offs. And that as a whole, people do need to come together and protect one another. And I mean actually protect, not claim that you're going to protect and then fucking prey on people like some pissant motherfuckers in the community that I'm aware of. So, if anyone is, part of Team Rewatch watching this, I will tell you that we actually have an extremely safe Discord community. And we actually check almost every single person that joins before they're allowed to even get close to joining. Because this is shit that we don't tolerate. We don't stand for this. And the others, yeah. I hope one day that more regulations do come out, and I've said this before, like even when I talked about firearms, I am all for having regulations on things because it is for the safety of people so that people don't have to go through this shit. Yeah. No one should go through any of it, ever. It small, big, it doesn't fucking matter. Hashtag protect the fam. Pretty much, yeah. Like, we joke around and stuff. We may do, like, little sexual innuendos here or there. But when it comes down to it, we honestly protect each other quite fucking heavily. Thank you for that, Leanne. I appreciate it. Hey. No. And if people are being treated like that, they need to bring forth that information, bring forth those screenshots, bring forth anything so that we can stop it completely and wholeheartedly and get it out. Because that's what needs to happen. The only way to take care of a garden is to pull the weeds, man. And then everything will grow and flourish. And the unfortunate thing is because everyone is so goddamn sue happy and shit like that, you definitely need to have, you need to come with receipts. I'm Beagle's protector, I guess. Some days. Yeah, if anyone is struggling with anything, fucking reach out. Reach out to anyone that you have trust in. Almost daily, there's someone sitting in the project community Discord. It's usually me sitting alone for hours at a time, and then Cal jumps in, or Hart jumps in, or Mayo sometimes jumps in. Sometimes Midas will jump in. I've talked to a number of people in there just to vent a little bit, to get some frustrations off their chest or whatever. And we continue on. We try to make it a safe space for everybody. Water and flowers. When water the flowers, yes. Just not with tears. At least not with sad tears. Happy tears. Celebratory tears is fine to water them with. But hopefully others will watch this, and hopefully it gets enough notice, and it will help. Sylvester's at the window now. And like I said, I will definitely put Boo Production, Jeff's live stream, in the description. And people can go watch that to see the Roblox interview thing. But this gives more information over a much wider spectrum. So. Bad YouTube stuff happening. I will literally drive across country. Someone's endangered. Same. I actually, when Stone Rock's truck broke down or whatever, and he couldn't find a place to sleep, I offered to drive 10 hours to go pick him up, bring him here, find him a place to have a house, and get him a car and a job and all that shit if he needed it. I will say Beagle is someone who is nice to talk to. I have people talk to me a lot, and I try to give advice and be helpful, and I joke, but I try to be a good guy all around. So I appreciate that. I try. Even though I seem like a big old baddie some days, I'm like a giant cuddly grizzly bear. It kind of sounds about right. I will bite your head off and tear you limb from limb, but I'll do it in a nice way, I'll at least let you get a little hug in first before I get fucking pissy. I suppose 3 hours streaming. Did Leanne remove that, or was it YouTube? No idea. I don't think Leanne removed anything, did she? Oh, I still see it, but sometimes YouTube doesn't like certain things. It's being real fucking pissy. But I suppose I am going to call it there. I think I've covered this thing completely. Yes, I'm reposting, but my autocorrect messed me up. But I will literally drive across the country to help. Yes. Anyone that finds themselves in a bad situation, it's always good to take care of them. Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft. No, I guess someone was listening. Hey, J-Cart. He just sent me a thumbnail. I know I asked him if he could make one. I didn't know if he'd actually get one or not. And he actually took a picture of me from this exact stream looking very upset. Ooh, you sneaky little fuck. But yeah, I'm gonna call it an evening there, guys. I'm gonna go unwind. That was a lot. I'm tired. So everyone stay safe. Everyone look out for each other, yeah. And like I said, share that with the people that needs to be shared with. I'm on it. See that. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a good night. I'm out. I'm fucking bushed.